Yo, yo, yo. What's up? Hello, hello. Yo, what's up, Marco? What's up, Blazer? We'll just be waiting a second for people to join in, so I don't have to like repeat my thoughts a lot of times. Do, 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 do. All right, let me just get this set up real quick. Give me like 10 seconds, I'll be back. All right, let's go. Hello, hello, welcome, guys. So, what we'll be watching for today is basically I'm looking for upside here due to the fact that, we talked a lot about ranges, how I get my draw on liquidity. Here we took out the low of the range. We have failure swings at the tops. We have even more failure swings on ES. So that's essentially what I'm watching. Going into the open, see if we can confirm that upside. Good morning, good morning. Yo, you guys can hear me fine, right? Should be able to. Yeah, perfect. What's up, Bowie? And also, I already took this on gold. Damn, it went good amount further. Um, I'll break it down soon. Basically, just 15-minute, 30-minute close above entry here. Stop at the low of the bodies. I'll break this down and post it later. Just target the first here, and then potentially could have targeted this high, right? Because it's failure swings. Yeah, I took gold longs, but I'll get to that. For now, we're watching NQ longs. Could set up really nicely if open can confirm it. It's not like the biggest range on a day, so we could definitely go up to these highs in my opinion. So let's see what open does. Saw the gold a bit late, beautiful one. If we were to close below the 830 candle, would you be open to framing shorts or no, since it's against your bias? I would most likely, for any shorts, like being open to that, I would want to see price go even lower. So not, I wouldn't just short it. Like if we close down here, would want to see this low broken, and by that time, I'm most likely not, um, looking for shorts. So I'd just prefer longs. I'm not a fan of trading away from all these failure swings. We have so many more failure swings here on ES. Like this is just screaming liquidity and like a good draw to me. So But let's see what open does right now. And if we can get a setup here. I don't want to see it. Making me jealous that I'm not awake in the middle of the night. Nah, let's be real. New York is the best session by far. So we'll just be watching how we react here at open. Um, Gold, they created a long wick, which makes it unfavorable. Yeah, so that's the thing. That's why I didn't long down here, because I wanted extra confirmation. But by the time we were up here, it seemed pretty clear that we were going for some opposing liquidity. Also considering that we took out this low of the range, right? Tapped into these down close candles, opposing close candles, this gap, and then had a reversal down here, like on a lot of the higher time frame, 15 minute, 30 minute, etc. So I liked how we swept, these candles, the low of these candles, and then into this gap. So I thought that's also why I targeted this and not the high. Obviously the high hit right after, but I'm really just interested in indices right now. Gold watch short. I would not, if anything, I'd be looking for longs, but I'm not watching anything in gold anymore because we took this high. So my interest is really just on indices. So I'll just be focusing on like the opening here, and then I'll answer like questions meanwhile, but my focus is here, and then I'll get to all the questions after. So we even have an SMT here. Would have been even better if like one of them took out this, but honestly, are we just going to moon? We are, okay. I mean, EOS is pretty far to this draw. But that is a very nice reaction at open. I'm not entering anything. I'll let you guys know. I'm just, hypothetically. Yeah, this is not the RR. Just watching how this 5 minute closes. Like, I don't want to rush the gun, but I'm pretty confident in this draw. Jump the gun, that's what it's called. Yep. I'll just be watching if we get the 5 minute close here. It's like, that's not even 2 hour. Yeah, I'll most likely just give it a bit of time to potentially form a continuation. Hopefully. SMT with YM. Oh yeah, YM actually took that low I just talked about. Well, that's this low. Okay. I'm watching this. I'll just wait for the candle close though to see where we close. Yeah, I'll be taking this as an entry. I just market entered like right here. And then I'll have my stop down here so far like 1.8. Alright, that's what I'm looking for. Can potentially get a better fill if we come down to retest some of these. Yeah, I could have gotten that fill for 2R. It's alright. We're chilling here. Well, maybe. See what ES is doing. Okay. This is going great, right, guys? We're just gonna take this out. Maybe. That's one hell of an entry, right? Okay. ES is better. Yeah, so the thing is, when NQ takes that high, if uh, assuming we're still in this trade, right? If NQ takes this high, I'm gonna take out most of my position, maybe hold like a runner or two to where ES would potentially take the high. Right now, it's not looking too bright, to be completely honest. It's not at all. Oh well. ES is better draw. For bullish, you wouldn't expect price to run higher than yesterday's high. I mean, we could easily, because we kind of, this should be a protected swing, obviously, until this is taken as a minimum, but could potentially go further, especially if NQ gets here prior to ES, because ES is most likely getting here as well if we get that move to the upside that, okay, we're almost back. Could definitely went for a bit of fill in this case. But let's see if we hold up here. Looks alright. Maybe we'll just wait. What should TP? So first TP is the highs up here. Failure swings from what, yesterday? Yeah, previous day high actually. I might have jumped the gun like I just talked about, but we'll see what price is doing here. Ideally, we would want it to just shoot up from here and not stick around down here for that long. Um, it's most likely going to stop us out considering it failed to, go higher after we just retraced back up. So this is what I'm talking about after we tapped down here and then went higher. Nonetheless, if we are getting stopped out and we, continue higher, I will still be looking for a continuation to the highs. And seems like we are now. We might get an SMT down here. There it goes. Watch it just sweep this and go higher. Not even kidding. That would be nasty. See, gold is just chilling. This would actually be crazy. My luck on stream has turned, guys. Yeah. Yes, if it just holds, it's most likely going to having that SMT. That would be like the one time I pick NQ over ES. I mean, I'll most likely do most of the time, but it's usually not ES holding. But let's see how if we can get back up here. Hmm. You're still in had one stops 1 point below. Okay. We would still want to see it kind of shoot up after sweeping this low. So right now it's, just stalling a bit. Obviously, we wouldn't want to see it return back down to this low. And it's most likely going to go deeper. ES seems just a bit of a stronger pair right now. I'm just seeing. Yeah, I see the SMT here. Might try my luck with ES here, if we can close above. Seems to be the bit of a stronger pair, even though they're pretty similar. Yeah, if we can close up here, I'll have my entry on the opening price of this down close candle. That is crazy. Okay, we'll wait. Doo -doo -doo -doo. 15-minute closing up here is nice to see. We just want the lower time frames to confirm it as well. So, but taking a look at the reaction we get from the lows, it seems likely that we're going to get that continuation. But we'll have to see how these lower time frame candles close. Why I'm pretty clean. I'm not touching that. Or maybe that's just it. Definitely not interested if we just keep chopping around like this. Did you enter on that 9:30 close? Yeah, I did. I entered on NQ up here where I got stopped out on this low. So 1 for 2 today. A 0 for 1 on stream. Alright. Seems like we might not be getting that expansion to the upside. Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like it with this candle. But the thing is, it seemed like it wanted to go, and I'm fine with taking that entry. Because in most cases, when you see 9:30 react like that, especially towards a draw, you'll most likely get the rest of the move shortly after. So, yeah, not a lot of interesting stuff here after seeing price going lower. I'm not interested in why I can take a look, but I won't be trading it. This looks just as bad. How is this kinda clean? What? This looks even worse. What is Seal doing? I'll just have a look. Doing nothing either. Sick. Yeah. Oops. That's most. We should just be trading London. Look at this. Instead of the. Nah, but on a serious note, probably nothing interesting after this. Can wait a bit to see if we can retrace, but this is just not an ideal move. Some said that the ICT stopped the algorithm on NQ. Yeah, seems about right. Thank you, thank you. Also, since we're now trading, back down to these, would be pretty unfavorable trading away from these failure swings. Like this would be fine because we had an S&T down here as well when we were looking for longs. Oh, oops. But now it's not really anymore. And obviously, this is not what you want to see at 9:30, right? Let me give you an example of where was 9:30 yesterday. Okay, this was even worse. See, this is what you want to see. 9:30 start an expansion or manipulate something, but obviously we already manipulated here. Actually at 9:30. SMT have opposing close candles. Can drop down to a 3 minute in this case for a bit better R. And then obviously just respecting opposing close candles most of the way, which is what we want to see. So when it's not clear, there's no way to really risk money. We'll give it like 5 minutes to see if it can get back up here. If it can, that's most likely it for the day. You wouldn't look to switch to shorts since longs ain't looking good. Nah, I wouldn't want to be trading away from these. And especially not seeing, us retracing up here. I wouldn't be looking for shorts, only longs if anything, but that would need us to get up here and start trading towards that draw, which is not very likely considering this price. Can we trade 15-minute change state of delivery if there's on for 10 a.m. for where would you trade that? Oh, you mean to the downside? Can we get above these? That's the only thing I'm looking for. Look at the 4 hour. Do you take a trade? Yeah, I took a 1L on NQ, like shortly after open. Oops. What about the 4 hour? I mean, that's what I was thinking, that's my bias, but if the lower time frames doesn't, align with it, there's just no trade. You can see so much from the, hourly 4 hour chart, but if you can't, like if the 5 minute, 15 minute, etc. doesn't support it, there's no trade. And right now we can't get a close above any of these. Yeah, it's very choppy. Choppy, choppy, chop. Alright, so about like YouTube videos, would you just want to see like a bit more and longer videos? Just a bit more raw with, obviously a bunch of information, hopefully, or more edited? Because I think I'll be able to get a bit more out if it's just more raw. And hopefully you guys learn just as much, if not even more, since they're longer as well. At dragons. What? More raw. Okay. Sick. Okay, I'll definitely be doing that then. Gotcha. Okay, seems like we're definitely going for more raw. Yeah, trade reviews, that's what I'm planning on doing for my. I just gotta get my, I just gotta do it honestly. I've just been a bit slacking. Video suggestions. Yeah, bring it on. Let's hear it. Which videos do you guys want to see? Let's hear them all. Alright, sick Travis. I got you. Bias narrative. Yeah, so I can try to make a video on that, but I'll try to include it in some of the trade reviews, like how did I get my narrative for that specific trade, etc. Is Powell supposed to be talking right now? I don't think so. Psychology journal. Okay, interesting. When you say psychology, what do you mean? You just want like how I whatever stick to my stop loss and targets when I'm in a trade, or I'll see what I can get cooking. Looks like you have already answered, but I got disconnected. Will you consider short if the lower time frame forms a setup? I will not. I'm only open to longs, which I'll most likely just leave as well if we don't do anything like right here. He just took the high again. If we can close up here, then potentially. If not, yeah. 4 hour rants like ICT. Nah, I won't be bringing like tens of thousands of different concepts that you guys won't need into my videos. How to recognize low probability conditions. Okay. Um, NQ is about to go for candle 2 in the 15-minute. I would still want to see us get above here and then potentially this on ES, honestly. Let me have a look at. So this would be interesting if we could close above. Might just run away, which is also fine. But confirming the upside here. We have SMT down here. What just shoot up here? That would be such a joke. NQ wouldn't even provide anything proper if we were to enter here. Like the stop loss would just be way too big. ES looks a bit decent, obviously, because it's stronger, so it didn't go as low. Doubt we can get a re-entry. We'll see if we can. If we can't, we'll look for continuation. If anything is offered, obviously, might just shoot up and then. Yeah, it looks decent. If we can close up here. Maybe talk what was your learning process, maybe out of the students you've seen achieving consistency. Is there anything they do others don't? Oh, that's a good question. Um, yeah, I might have to think about that one. One thing I can say is most people will have at least like, more consistent people will have a max of whether it's max trades or max losses on the day. So they can never, go on a tilt and then because that's how a lot of people like they trade fine, maybe they lose a bit, maybe they win a bit, but then one day comes and they just go on a complete tilt and destroying it all. Like I've done that a lot of times, obviously. I know a lot of people have. That was probably one of my worst like things going on a tilt, but having those rules and respecting those rules will help you so much. And obviously journaling your trades in detail so you have, data over time on specific instruments like ES and Q, which one do I do better on, what setups, like what time of the day. Um, that's a lot to, a good step more towards being consistent if you're not already. I like ES here. I will be trying this if we can close up here, especially if NQ can close above this as well. That would be nice to see. Yeah, I'm having my limit here. So we'll see if it comes back to fill us. Do you ever shoot for anything less than 2 hour? You ever move stops to break even? Yeah, especially um, in most cases, if let's say I'm in NQ and ES takes a relevant high that I'm targeting on NQ, then I will often trail my stop or just partial the position, partially close it. Let's say like strength completely switches up, and like one of the only reasons that I would move my stop to break even is that, or obviously if I'm up like 2 hour, then I won't let it go into a loss. Like worst case, it'll go back to break even. See if we can get filled here. Doo-doo-doo. I have my limits here. See if we can get filled. If this fails as well, it would be kind of crazy. But obviously anything can happen if I can just get filled. Imagine NQ taps this, ES doesn't, and it just runs. Max risk per day. Yeah, so do yourself like, I know a lot of people will be like, if they go negative either 1 or 2 hour on the day, they'll just completely, stop trading, which is a good rule in my opinion. With that said, it doesn't mean that you have to take like 1 or 2 trades if there's nothing that's looking good. Yeah, oops. I know NQ tapped it. I just want to see ES tap it. I like ES more and the draw, but they both have failure swings. ES just seems stronger. So if we can just get tapped in here, which is not, I don't know if we can, but we're trying. It's gonna take NQ, but the risk to reward is not as good. ES, is this what you use to determine which to enter? Yeah, partially. So the fact, the reason for ES having better risk to reward is obviously this SMT, where NQ went all the way down here, whereas ES didn't. And there's a bit further to the failure swings. But if NQ takes out the highs prior to ES taking these, I will be probably trailing my stop. What if you enter on the weaker pairs that bad? I mean, most of the time they're just lagging, so they will catch up to each other. But it's more about the stop loss size in this case. Like if the stop loss wasn't that big on NQ, I wouldn't mind it too much. Do we get tapped in here? Maybe, and I got tapped in there. So now I'm basically just waiting again. Hopefully we get a bit of a better reaction this time than a second ago. Also, we had the new 4 hour open here. I'll just be setting my alerts here, and NQ on the highs as well. We might just go 0 for 2. That's crazy. This is actually crazy. Yeah, honestly, considering this, like the from 9:30 to here, even though we get the close, this is probably something I should have stayed out of. This is not a good reaction. 2Ls you log out. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I already took this 2 hour on gold, so essentially I'll be break even end of day if this goes to a loss, which is obviously still not nice. But yeah, I will. Reaction of daily open. I mean, it shouldn't really hold any relevance in my opinion, but obviously it rejected from there. So especially if we can get that M15 close up here, which I'm not sure we can. Especially seeing this inversed. That's not what we like to see. It's most likely gonna go lower from here. Actually, I'll just be putting my stop here at the lows of the bodies. That should hold as well. So we'll see. If we should head higher, we should do it from here, ideally. If not, we're most likely, yeah. Can you go over your gold trade? I can. So essentially it's, oh wow, just hit up here. See, we should have long gold instead. No, kidding. Um, yeah, so basically seeing, let me start on the daily. After we took out all of these lows, tapped into this gap here, tapped into these down close candles on the daily as well. Had a pretty strong reaction. Lower time frames change state of delivery here. So let me mark it out. This, and then we had continuation signatures, right? Up, and then up here, I was pretty sure that we were gonna take this first high as a minimum, and then eventually this, and then potentially return back up into this range I have marked out. Um, so down close candles on M15, M30. Yeah, High resistance R mark. Yeah, I'll just be putting my stop here. We shouldn't return back down there. We're most likely going to, by the looks of it now. That way we'll mitigate the loss. Obviously, this is not the reaction you wanted to see at the highs. Where was the SMT with YM? I'm not really using YM for SMT though. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. We're most likely getting stopped here. That's a rough day. It's looking like it just wants to head lower and just chop around most likely. Damn, gold is just doing gold's thing. Doo-doo-doo. Ugly day. Yeah, definitely. Definitely is. Will PM be the move? I don't know. I won't be watching, most likely. So we'll see if we can hit this today. But if we do, it's most likely going to be without us. At least without me if we don't go from here. If we can get above this, there should be some hope. But we don't want to see us chop around. Now we're just making, failure swings down here, more or less. Unless we can, get away from it right now. So same trade on gold, but didn't risk because of having only $900 in challenge account. But put buy bucks and it worked. Now I regret that I must trade. I mean, it's always easy to say in hindsight, right? You never know in the moment. Like that's why we're entering trade because we think something is gonna happen. That doesn't mean it's the case. So how do you seeing green? Nah, you guys are jinxing it. Now we're probably gonna get a doom candle. Not even joking. This is not funny, guys. Please don't. Just be quiet. Act like we don't know it. Um, Let me see. How to identify which are lower probability days. These days are usually the ones getting me to lose profit. So usually when you take a look at the higher time frames, that's where you identify it. So I'll give you an example from last week. Um, when you see we're in a range kind of like this. Oh, that was the wrong tool. Like this, right? Okay, this is a bad example. I have a better one. Yeah, let me see if I can find a really good one to illustrate my point. Yeah, okay, here, let me show you. So basically here, right? Before we take this high, we have, so where's the 9:30 open? That's like right around here. That's the 9 o'clock candle, right? When we going into this New York open, we see that we have failure swings on both sides. Because obviously this isn't taken, so we have failure swings down here, and we have failure swings up here. So this is not something you want to be participating in, because you don't want to trade away from failure swings, and we have them on both sides. You can't really avoid it. So you would want to see either side of these being taken out. Obviously, that's what's happening here, getting a reaction. Then you would want to look for price to go to the opposing side of the range. And let's see what ES is doing. It's doing nothing. Is it going back on us? Let me see what NQ is doing. Can I get over here? It's doing nothing either. Sick. As said, we need to get above this for it to look a bit more realistic, like the upside. Um, Everyone who look away from charts and act like we don't care where price goes. Yeah. Nah, don't pretend that you guys haven't done that. Like, okay, I don't care. Even though it's more of a meme, but it's kind of funny either way. Um, if we don't see it, it's not happening. What about the 4 hour breaker? Eh? I. Oh, you mean on NQ is this? Wait, let me show you. You mean what? Oh, you mean an ES? This? I'm not too concerned about that since we already have we took the low of the range, so we have the framework set for higher prices. Obviously, lower time frames still need to go higher, but why do we trade days like this? Honestly, that's a good question. Yeah, we should probably just close the charts. I would have done that if I wasn't in a trade already, but as you guys can hear from the viewers, this is not a very good trade. Yo, what's up, Tristo, my boy? Are you in anything? Whoa. Um, when price starts chopping around like this, it's better to get out and break even or commit to it. I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you because obviously that, like, if I say get out, break even, and it goes to take profit, you're gonna be like, oh, why did I do that? Question, why index got chopped, close charts. That sounds like a smart plan. I'll be closing the charts for sure after this one. Honestly, I just wanted to see if we can, go higher from here. If we can't, I'll most likely be closing in manually. Um, oh, you're in Y. I'm almost at TP. What is Y I'm doing? I mean, it hasn't really moved odd, like differently than indices, ES and NQ, but um, How to anticipate the day would be like this? Do you use 9:30 open as a gauge? Yeah, I would. So obviously, prior to 9:30, I wouldn't have been able to tell you this because I was expecting upside. So I'll just be closing the trade here manually. I'm closing it here. This is just awful. Like then it might go to my TP, might not, but this is not something I want to be in. Like if you ask me here, it seems more like a 50-50 than having higher probability, which is something you want in your trades, obviously. Giving me the opportunity to get out break even here after, having that insane drop right away. So, yeah, with that said, it's gonna be break even here. Honestly, looking at this, it just looks awful. Like, look at this price action. Yeah, I got out. I got completely out. I closed at a break even, like right now, basically a second ago. I got out for -2 ticks. Did you take anything? Yeah, I was just in this ES long, but I got out break even because seeing the price obviously failed to move higher. Um, so I'll just be exporting my executions to my TradeZilla, and then most likely gonna call it shortly after. These past two streams has been kind of shitty, but it's alright. Not a whole lot going on today. Any entry, if you're not in anything, I wouldn't recommend you to enter anything. What indicator for 10 a.m. open times? I just marked it out. So it's just a, template I have, just like 9:30. So I just mark it out manually. I mean, good thing we got out, I guess. It's still, I mean, it could still reverse, but it just doesn't look good. But you know what we say, guys? The comeback's gonna be even greater. When we can get a proper expansion day, then I'll be breaking down this gold trade as well. Way better to just go outside, enjoy the weather if it's good weather, or just do something else in general. I'll see if I can get the YouTube video out, like, yeah, one of the coming days. Maybe can today. Was just asking how's it going. Oh, sorry, I missed it. It's going good. How are you? Yeah, we're chilling. So, what's watching gold when move has already happened? Yeah, so I took this in gold. Just a M15, M30 close above, targeting the first high. Could obviously have targeted this one, hit right after, but yeah, just but it was pretty overextended on the day. But it might actually look good to longs after sweeping out these lows and having some sort of reaction. Go back into the range, potentially. Especially since we have a bunch of failure swings up here. But let's be honest, it's most likely gonna happen during Asia. Gold just hates us. Price hits all targets tonight, I will lose my mind. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it doesn't seem to be. So, getting the chance to get out here break even after we had that big of a, you know, like after we dug that deep into it. It's fine with me. It might go, it might not. But if I'm taking a look at this, is it something I would take any entry on? No. Then it's most likely time to get out if I can, get a better fill. Oh well. 1W on first percentage fair value gap on inversion. What? Oh, you mean in gold? Yeah. This is how you manage cash on low probability days. Yeah. Guys, we might as well just close the charts here. Yeah, you have failure swings on the downside as well, especially after seeing that retrace down here, as I just talked about, failing to displace higher. With that said, enough for today. I don't hope anyone got chopped up other than the first. Um, Alright, guys. With that, I'll be ending the stream here, and hopefully we can get a better stream or some better price action. When do you come live? Any schedule? Okay, so actually one thing before I go, I'll just get it done probably after, making some YouTube, but I'll most likely just be opening a free, Discord, just a bit like Tease, where, I'll announce when I'm going live, posting new videos, all that stuff. If you guys want to keep up today, probably gonna put a bit of a gem or two, like educational stuff in there as well. So I'll definitely be you know, letting you know, obviously here and on Instagram and Twitter, whatever you guys, wherever you are, when it's live, but it might be a little while, but that's the plan. Last question before you go. Top down of gold trade. Okay, I can I can do it a fourth time. I'll just go through it quickly. So essentially let me delete this. Seeing these lows ran out, right? These failure swings. We tapped into these down close candles here. Tapped into this gap as well on the daily. Oops. Obviously, the daily wick is not too favorable, but seeing a pretty strong reaction off the lows and keep seeing displacement to the upside here on the higher time frames, 15 minute, 30 minute, and then seeing these candles, 30 minute and 15 minute down close candle tap into this gap, sweeping the lows of the prior candles as well, closing above. I took my entry here, put my stop at the bodies of the 5 minute candle here, and just targeted the 2 hour, which was right here. Yeah, so that's it. I'll be ending here and hopefully see you guys soon. Stay safe and trade safe, guys. And get off the charts now.